Hello, guys. Welcome back to the D's Don't Get Degrees podcast. This is Jessica,
And this is Dominic.
and we're here for episode number 3.
Yep, it's been about a week since the last episode, naturally. So we're gonna just kind of let y'all in on what we've been up to the last week or so. For me, is much of the same. I got another Shoe Girl story.
We
that I'll
got an
get into.
update on Shoe Girl.
An update on Shoe Girl. So
If I knew anything about editing, I'd add, those like breaking news segments?
Yeah.
It's like, no.
that'd be hilarious.
Me sitting at a desk, like stacking papers.
Breaking news: Shoe Girl ignores Dominic again. No,
Shoe Girl still isn't flirting.
No, so she wasn't flirting this time, but we basically went on a date, more or less.
You guys went on a date at work?
Yes.
We're both clocked in.
Yeah. No. Hush,
Romantic stroll to the vending
it
machine.
wasn't actually a date. Well, that happened too, but no. I always see her in the lunchroom by the vending machine. But what I was gonna say is she came over to my department because she needed some shoes or something off a mannequin. Really, I work in the men's department and she works in the shoe department, just as like a preference. That's why I call her Shoe Girl.
Preface.
Just as a sure.
You messed up that word.
I noticed it. I was kind of just brushed past it, but whatever, since you want to make me look stupid in front of everybody. But anyways, she comes over to my apartment, Shoe Girl, and she's like, hey, first she's like, oh, freaking out.
I'll be her. I'll be Shoe Girl.
All right, so.
Hi, Dominic.
Hey, Shoe
Hi,
Girl.
big boy.
Hey, Shoe Girl, what's poppin'?
My name isn't Shoe Girl, but
Listen, I gotta call you Shoe Girl.
I'll take it.
I gotta call you Shoe Girl because I can't let all of our wonderful listeners know your real name.
You know when when people are trying to be sexy and they get really breathy with their voice?
Yeah.
That's how I imagine
your Shoe
her.
Girl.
In your imagination, that's how I imagine you imagining her.
Oh no! So I'm gonna get into that too in a minute, but no, that's not actually how she is. One of the funny things I realized about Shoe Girl recently is our first 1 or 2 meetings. I was like, man, I'm really just messing this up because I'm so awkward. Then I realized she's also kind of awkward too. She's a little bit awkward of herself.
That ruins the fantasy. Let's go back to the. All right, so we're back.
No,
we're back in this. We're back in the.
Yeah, no, you can still pretend Shoe Girl is super this sexy babe. Go for it.
So Dominic, can you get these shoes off of a mannequin for me?
Absolutely, Shoe Girl. Which one? And at that point, she's kind of freaking out though because her customer is waiting on the shoes. She knows what kind of shoes she needs.
You can't freak out in a sexy way.
She's absolutely freaking out. Because she doesn't know which mannequin, so she's running around the whole.
How does she know they were on a mannequin?
I think it's because
so
how
she's
you can.
Stupid. I'm kidding.
You know how you can go on the. I think you can go in the system and it'll say oh, we have one of these, but you can't find it.
She just assumed.
Well, she was right. She assumed, but she assumed right. I'm assuming somebody told her
so
I'm
the stupid one.
I don't know. I wasn't trying to put it that way,
okay.
but.
Okay.
Anyway, so she run around crazy looking for a mannequin. I want to help her, but she's kind of awkward and she's not telling me what kind of shoe she needs. She's just I need these shoes, and I'm like, all right, well, good luck finding them.
She wanted you to find them.
She didn't want me to, but I asked her what's wrong, why are you, and then she stops to tell me. And that's another thing about her. She's always moving so fast. She's rap. Even a few moments we've stopped to talk.
Skittish.
She's is that the word? Yeah. She's always
maybe.
Which I mean, that I get it, right? She was an all-star, at our job. So I mean, I get it.
She's an all-star?
She was an all-star.
How much? How much did she sell last year?
I have no idea.
She should be up on the wall, right?
I have no idea.
Oh my god.
But anyways,
lock her down, put a baby in her.
Yo, no. But anyways, I was just saying that because she's always in a rush and she's always just trying to find the next not the next customer, but she's always running around for a customer. So pinning her down for a conversation is already hard enough. So at first it just wasn't happening. I was I let it go. I was all right, whatever. But then she comes back when she figures out what mannequin. And so I go over to her and I'm like, oh, this is the mannequin, and this is where you can come in with the voice now. She's calmed down now, so you can be sexy with her again now.
Oh, I found the mannequin, Dominic. Is there any way you could help?
Absolutely, I got you. So
you said yes?
Yeah, I helped her.
Oh.
You thought I didn't? Why would I not?
I mean, I wouldn't.
If it's some... So, I don't... Okay. I mean, I help people there that I don't even like that much or want to help. So
Wow.
of course I'm gonna help Shoe Girl. She's something special. She's Shoe Girl.
Right.
But
right.
so I help her get it down and whatever, and I help her get all that whatever, and I make my jokes and stuff. But the whole thing is probably the second longest we've ever talked. Second longest we've ever talked. So I'm assuming this is pretty much like a second date, basically. In my head, this is basically our second date. So the third date, and then you know what they say about that 3-date rule.
You guys actually go on a date after the third one?
No.
You meet outside of work?
Oh, that'd be great, but no, that's not what I. No.
Okay,
I don't.
well.
But anyway, that's my. That's all that happened with Shoe Girl. Anything interesting happened with you this week though?
The whole week was pretty boring. I gave away a few of my shifts, so I have shifts. So I have a few more free days throughout the week, which is nice. I hung out with one of my best friends.
Oh, that's dope.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
That was really fun. But that was it.
That's
I hung out with her and I had this really. We went to see Ocean's 8 for a second time. I still love that movie. Still love it so much. Everybody go watch it. Support.
I still want to go watch it. My movie.
We'll go.
Okay, cool. Because my movie pass card just came in, so I'm definitely gonna go see it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go see it sometime this week if I get the chance.
Yeah, nothing much on my end. I feel like there's never anything on my end.
I mean, you see, I have to make up these convoluted stories to make a simple exchange, make it seem like it's something big. So there's never really usually that much on my end. But I just like you though. I also saw a good friend I haven't seen in a long time. We went out for lunch. We caught that Chili's happy hour, so that was lit.
2 for $20.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I guess we could have got it at any point, but it just
is Chili still open?
What? Do you ask?
What time do they close?
Right
I
now
don't need to know. No,
at the time of our record.
I'm a hoe for Chili's. Anybody who makes fun of Chili's or you know how
Chili's is amazing.
What other restaurant am I thinking of? They get made fun of as
Fridays.
Fridays, yeah. It's they're bad dates, dude.
No, they're amazing.
I'll fuck up some fries.
I went on too many dates to Chili's, to be honest with you. Maybe that's why they don't always work out that well. But I've been on.
I don't know why that's a joke. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you mean because it's
seen fun of Chili's.
It's seen as
Fridays and.
I think I get it because you know the weird thing about it, Chili's is something about the environment's really fun. The margaritas are great. Now
Yeah.
It's just a fun thing to say you went to. But have you ever sat down and actually just went for the food, like legit eating? And I'm not talking about the cheese fries. The cheese fries are amazing.
Yeah.
But your actual entree, whatever you ordered, have you ever stopped to just think
No, I'm usually full from the fries. Just
I think that's the joke because they have if you look at their menu, it's they have all kinds of this cool great food or whatever.
It's not good.
It's not bad, but it definitely tastes like 2 entrees for $20. It.
Oh, okay. I see.
You know what I mean? I had the ribs and they were good.
Yeah, but you can
but
play
they weren't
the game of life. Monopoly.
Yeah, but they make you pay $1 for it. But yeah, it's fun.
So.
I mean,
you're
right.
Cents each.
You're true.
Let a man treat you, girl. If you don't pay for that game.
Yeah, if he doesn't pay for that game, then he ain't worth it because he that cheap. You shouldn't be that cheap. Come on, bro. I get being cheap, but come on,
yeah, it's
bro.
$1.
It's literally $1 exactly. You can't add $1, and $1 at Chili's for that game of life or Monopoly or whatever is worth the whole experience. We just established their food is their food isn't bad, but it I don't know why it just occurred to me this recent time when I went to eat with my friend. Maybe that's the first time I ever wasn't so caught up in the experience that I actually tasted the food, and I was like, oh, it's not bad, but it definitely tastes like what you're paying for.
Just $10.
Just exactly. No offense, Chili's, I love y'all, and if y'all trying to sponsor me, that'd be great. But
they're trying to sponsor you.
Y'all try to sponsor us, that'd be great. Fucking love Chili's.
Unlimited 2 for $20. You can ask for 2 for $20 even when they're not having that promotion, and they'll give it to you.
When will they not? I don't want to say it's gonna go on forever, but
that's the sponsor they offer you. They're just hey, we're just gonna give you 2 for $20 even when it's not running, just for you.
So another thing I did this week was I actually went to a party. It wasn't a big party or anything like that. It was just a friend was having a family party, and we went. But,
why didn't I get invited?
I don't know. You asked that friend. So, friend, you wanna? No, I'm just kidding. She knows exactly who.
Lifeline, you call.
I call her right now. Like, hey, so
Why didn't Jessica get an invite?
Um,
I'm kidding.
We should call her on air right now and just that'd be hilarious. It'd be our first special guest.
No, I don't want it.
You don't want that confrontation,
No.
Not in front of everybody. That'd be so funny.
I wouldn't have gone.
That's the real
Even
thing.
if I got the invite, I wouldn't have gone.
You know, that's the thing I actually argue with one of my friends about like a couple times recently. She'd be like, "Oh man, you don't invite me places," and I'm like, I know you wouldn't have gone because it's either something she just isn't interested in, or like I know her schedule of like kind of her life. Like I know when she works generally. I know how much time she spends with her family. So because I've invited her to her similar situations before and she hasn't been able to go. So, and I'm like, if I know you can't go, why am I gonna? And she's like, oh, it's just nice to get the invite. And I'm like,
was it a fun party at least?
Yeah, no, I had a good time. I had a pretty good time. I had like at least 8 mimosas. And I'm not exaggerating.
What a lit party. 8 mimosas.
I mean, also, they had beer. They had, like, whiskey and, like, actual drinks and stuff, too. But something about these mimosas was just, like, oh, man. It was, I told her she got to give me a secret formula, like, dead ass. Like, I felt like Plankton trying to, like.
Am I dumb? Are mimosas just orange juice and
champagne? Yes. But they were so good. Like, I'm not kidding. It was, because I've had mimosas before. I've had mimosas at restaurants, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of good. And then I had these last night, and I can't put my finger on it.
You sure there was alcohol in there?
I'm positive. It wasn't just.
You were just drinking orange juice?
I was just drinking orange juice like a child. No. No.
Man, this stuff is so good.
No, it definitely had its. I watched her make it. It was so good, though. It was ridiculous. So I just sat around drinking those all night and talked to a couple friends. It was pretty cool. It wasn't like really a big dance party or whatever. There was karaoke at the end, and that got kind of exciting. And there was also a bounce house at the very end, which is also
at the end.
Well, they had the bounce house out the whole time, but we all kind of got drunk.
Right.
We got drunk and then
it's
we
like
walked
little kids usually are in there.
Yeah,
at the beginning of the party.
Yep, that's how that works.
Yeah,
so we at the end it cleared out, and at 1 a.m. they went out and just like jumped and went crazy. I was recording the whole thing, so I didn't really get to jump in. But I also didn't.
You were recording?
I was, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever, like recording them in the bounce house. Like, hey, look, it's lit.
Wow, what a what a millennial.
Shut up.
You didn't get to enjoy the festivities because you were too busy documenting them for social media?
They absolutely invited me, and I was like, no, that's cool. I'll just stand over here and record it.
I'd rather make a memory out of this.
Also,
Literally
my stomach was feeling kind of
memory.
my stomach was feeling kind of weird because of the all mimosa. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, it was a pretty fun party, and it was the first party I had been to in like a while, like legit party, not like a bar or like a club or like, oh, someone's birthday and we go to this place, like a legit like party at someone's house. It's the first one I've been to in quite a while, and it was so fun. And I was like, dang, I low-key miss partying because I mean I used to party like a good amount in college, too much in college, but even a little bit after college, even like 20 years old and 21, like I felt like I partied a lot more now. It's like I'll be lucky if I get one kind of small party like this a year, and one big one if I decide to throw it myself a year, and that's it.
Yeah,
it's like I miss them. I really do. I don't know.
Are you gonna take a more like proactive stance on it? You're gonna go out there, try to party, or is this wishful thinking?
Absolutely wishful thinking.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to have a party and invite me, this is basically just so you know I'm down. I'm always down. This is just exactly. If you're ever about to have a party and you're like, I wonder if Dominic wanted. Yes. Answer is yes. Yes, I'm going. Period. Even if I show up late, I'm going. Yes. But
I feel like I'm past that. I don't know.
You probably
Parties aren't that attractive to me
anymore.
anymore.
You've just grown up and I haven't. So just say what it is.
I don't know any large group of people that I'd be down to party with. More than anything. Like,
no, yeah.
Parties are fun, yeah, but
no, that's true, because it's either like it was last night where it's like mostly the person's family and a few friends that you may or may not know or whatever, but you still feel a little like kind of weird regardless. Or if it is all like young people and friends, they all probably know each other, and you either fit in and you know them too, or you don't. And it's like there needs to be a balance. You need to be able to go to a party with people that you know, but also be able to meet new people too. Like,
I wish I could work a lot less. I feel like it'd make it easier for me to have more like social time.
Oh, absolutely. But
work kills you. Like,
that's what I was gonna say. When you get 2 off days a week, and one of them I just want to sleep the whole time, like legit.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like I used to be able to say like, well, I have a morning shift, so I can go party after, or I can go hang out with friends after. Or I'd flip it like, oh, I have a closing shift, but I can like do some. I can go out to eat. I can do something in the morning.
Oh, I've never been that person though. Not really.
I'm no longer either. Because
Okay.
it's like I'm gonna be too tired after a morning shift.
Yeah, no,
which isn't even a morning shift. Like, you still get off at like what 6 p.m. if you're lucky.
Stupid.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. No, I used to be the type where like it's okay. I get off at like 10 o'clock. I'll meet y'all there like
that too,
10:30, 11. Like I didn't mind, especially if it's for a really lit party or like at least a bar or something. Like if I knew there's like some good drinking involved, I was down for it. Right.
Right.
Now I'm tired. I'm like holding tired. Like if I get off pretty much past 8 o'clock. If we're not just chilling at somebody's house, don't invite me. Like if I gotta go home, get ready, then drive to wherever I'm going, you probably just not gonna see me that night. Sorry. I know I just said I'm down for any part, but context matters.
This is reality coming in.
Context matters. Exactly. Context matters. So yeah, I miss partying, but I also realized like it's probably a reason I just don't do it as much.
Yeah.
I also realized it's so funny. I used to hear like older people talk about like the concept of like hangovers and stuff or whatever, and I didn't get like a bad hangover or anything, and I still don't get hangovers, but I notice it feels like every time I drink I get more and more side effects. Like it used to just
I
be
think that's just aging.
It used to be like, oh well, I would only get like a little head, like, oh, I got a little bit of a buzz headache in the morning, it's not a big deal. Or like, oh well, I'm kind of slow getting up, I'm just kind of tired, whatever. Now it's like my head hurts, and for some reason my legs are sore, and also my stomach is like upset, and like it's just it's all kinds of, it's a whole thing that hasn't slowed me down a lot, but I slowed down a good amount from last year. I was pretty far along.
Yeah, I've just had such a shift in my priorities. I can't even justify it, because you're right, it's like we get what, if we're lucky,
2 days off, and you're really going to spend one of them like
dead,
exactly,
and then the other one at a party.
So yeah, exactly, right? So
it's not really worth it.
Nope, for sure.
But those are the things we've experienced in the past week, the realizations we've come to. What I really wanted to talk about today was how fucking difficult it was to put up a podcast.
Oh yeah, and I know this sounds like,
I know we just talked about getting old with not being able to handle alcohol the same way, but I have never felt older.
Then no, seriously,
upload a podcast.
Just to sum it up, just a quick summary of what our day was like, because we spent an entire just kind of like off day, just like getting things ready before we posted the first couple episodes, so or the day we posted the first couple episodes. Let me just a quick summary of what that day was like. It was probably about 4 or 5 hours of Google searching how to do something, not being able to find it out until you had to like find some obscure article, and then you had to figure it out your own anyway, because they just, in the article, they kind of explained it, but not really, because it would just assume you already knew what they were talking about.
Yeah.
And then we would.
It makes me regret not having learned more as I was younger. Like, why didn't I become a little more tech savvy?
I mean, for me, and it's not a good excuse, but for me, I've never I've never had any project or anything like this before. I've never had to do like nothing. Like
why is no one out there aware of that? Everyone that ever has written an article like, oh, this is how you can upload a podcast, or these are how you can get it onto certain platforms, they talk as if I'm already supposed to know most of.
They talk as if it's common knowledge, and maybe it is. I don't know, but maybe we're just that behind the 8 ball where it is common knowledge, and we just. Yeah. But to me, it's like, how would you know?
If everyone knows what an RSS feed, and I just happen to be the one person who does it, I find that really hard to believe. Like, I don't know.
But the instructions aren't really clear, and if you never had to do it before, like how do you know?
Like, we found that we faced that struggle even early on, trying to order microphones for this thing. Yeah.
When we first like, okay, so what kind of microphones do we need, right? We found a good brand that we liked or whatever. It was cool.
Good reviews.
Yeah,
good stars.
It was fine. Yeah. But then we were looking up the actual, like, it occurred to us, okay, so how are we actually going to do this? Like, what program are we going to use to record, and also how do they
plug in?
Yeah, how do they plug in essentially, right? and we looked it up, and most of the articles we read, like legit, a good majority of them were like, oh, if you're gonna have one microphone for podcasting, it's easy, whatever, just go about it, USB,
Yeah,
bam, you're
just
done.
plug it in USB. It's so easy. The
It's
easiest thing
done.
you could have ever done.
But the other one was saying that you need basically like some kind of connector. I can't even remember
Where
what it's
shit hit the
called.
fan for us was when every article out there seemed to say once you have 2 microphones, 3
Mhm.
microphones, 4 microphones, it's a whole other game. Like,
Yeah, it's
you
difficult.
need a mixer, you need like a different program.
Yeah,
you need
you need a mixer, a different program, and on top of that, both microphones can't be the same brand. You got to get two different microphones.
two
Remember that was
different
the thing.
microphones, otherwise it just doesn't.
The sound quality isn't the same. It won't. Some of them were being so dramatic. They were like, it won't even let you do it. It won't let you
it'll only
upload it.
recognize one microphone.
And it's just like, are you? And I don't know what it. We just searched through those so often, and then I don't know what made us be like, you know what? If we're just gonna try
we're buying
it.
the same microphone.
We're just gonna try it. We're just gonna see what happens. Worst case scenario, we gotta return it, right?
Right.
And we bought 2 of the same microphone, USB, and we plugged it in, and here we are.
Lo
it's
and
working.
behold.
Lo and behold, it's working. Watch we say this, and like the sound quality is just the worst thing ever. They're like, oh, y'all should have got.
Maybe I should have paid attention to those articles.
No, but like the articles were saying like it legit wouldn't work. Like it wasn't even physically possible. And I was like, but that does. Why wouldn't it be? You know.
Right.
And I mean, it's not. It definitely seems like it's not normal. We definitely had to like kind of trick the computer and like do some different stuff. But it's possible. We're doing it right now. So, but just little stuff like that, like that's not necessarily intuitive if you've never done something like this before. Little
like
things.
the day we managed to get this on iTunes and Spotify will be a blessed day.
Exactly. An amazing
why is it
day.
so hard? Why is it
Boy.
so fucking hard to get something uploaded on?
For Spotify, I'm either we're missing something, or from what I could tell, it literally was just like an application we filled out, and it's like, all right, well, we just gotta wait for them to decide that they like us enough to approve it. For iTunes, that was a whole nother different monster. We couldn't even find how to get to the application in order to submit it for like approval. Like it's a whole.
You know who's been a dream to work with? Like, you know what company's been amazing to us? SoundCloud.
Oh yes,
because if you're trying to start a podcast, know that SoundCloud will be like the easiest place to upload. Yes, it's just perfect.
SoundCloud's great because one of the biggest problems with iTunes, Spotify, or really anything, we were just looking at like even just trying to get it to you, just anything, right? When it comes to podcasting, everybody says the same thing. Oh, well, you need somewhere to host your podcast first, which makes sense, right? I get that.
Yeah.
But every article, everything you read talks about, it lists these, which to me, it seems like they're partnered. It's not a coincidence, but these different like websites and different places you can go, and they charge you for the storage space per month, like $20, $15, whatever it is, which doesn't sound like a lot. And I mean, it's fine. If we absolutely had to or have to, then sure, we'll do it. But it's strange that was a thing that everybody was suggesting. Basically, you got to pay to do it, when we just off a whim was like, you know what, we can do it to SoundCloud, right? And we put it on SoundCloud, and then when
SoundCloud essentially acts as a hosting website.
Yeah, it was insane. We essentially found like a hack around it. Like, no, you don't have to pay. You can just host it on SoundCloud, which was ridiculous to me.
Why did not one article? I guess one did. That's how we managed
there was
find
one.
SoundCloud.
There was,
but everyone just was like, well, you need to have it hosted by someone because
like,
that's how you're going to get approved by blah, 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 blah. It's so dumb. Why not just make it easy? Maybe that was what we talked about. Like, what if we're just behind the times? Like, what if we just aren't up to date with the lingo?
Yeah, and that was half the battle too. A lot of the terms and stuff that were being used when it comes to this stuff was just like, we didn't like. I still remember when we were looking at different artists on Fiverr, for example, about like, trying to hire one to draw our image or whatever, right, or cover art. Which I love how it came out, by the way. Hope y'all like it too. But when we were looking for that, just trying to see like who we would go with, we were looking at different pricing and packages and whatnot, right? And a lot of them were saying things of like, one example, and maybe I'm really stupid for this. Like, one of my friends explained it to me, and I was like, I feel like an idiot. But the term JPEG, it was just talking about like, it used JPEG somewhere in the pricing or something like that. And I was like, I don't know what this is.
Well, I don't know if I was that illiterate, but I remember stuff like source file.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Why do we need that? what is it really? Or stuff like, I don't even like sizing, like,
Yeah, it was like different dimensions for like, oh, how big the picture can
and
be
I'm like,
to
it's a
fit in.
square. Isn't it just like, or like a circle? Isn't it just
It
the
should be
same
simple. It should be
throughout?
intuitive.
I don't know.
But it's not. For whatever reason, it's not. And I don't know, man. Like you said, maybe we're just behind the eight ball. Maybe we just are that. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me because it's like we're not, like, we kind of grew up with technology, and like I don't know why, but it's not clicking to me. I don't know. It's a lot I'm missing out on.
Yeah, I guess so. But that was a big struggle
Yeah.
that we overcame.
Yeah, for
Not
sure.
fully. We still don't have this on every platform we
Right.
want.
That
just
yeah.
yet,
It's
but
still other platforms we would love to put it on, to have it outreached a little bit, but we just got to figure out how. And I mean, iTunes is especially kind of frustrating just because there something, I don't know, maybe it was just a glitch with their website, but it was putting us in this weird endless loop of like, okay, so in order to post a podcast or whatever onto our iTunes store, you need to have an iTunes Connect account. So we'll be like, okay, cool, click the link on how to create an iTunes Connect account, and then it would tell us to create a new Apple ID, and we'll go through and do everything, and then it will just take us back to an FAQ page. Like
it was just a big mess. I don't know. Maybe it's because you learn these things. I think it's like, if you find this interesting, if you find like, what would podcasting fall under?
I mean,
Like,
there's a lot to it. Like the cover art is graphic design.
right.
This is like technically a little bit of video editing plus with like,
I guess if you're interested in that,
you take
don't
classes.
build all those skills at once,
Mhm.
which I guess is what we're trying to do.
Yeah,
and
we're
why
trying
it might
to
be frustrating.
Yeah, we're trying to like, okay, so how do we do it? Just let me do it right now and just do it.
Yeah.
We want to be like experts at it right now.
I guess
and it's
the
like,
people who are writing these articles took the time to like learn their shit, and we aren't.
I kind of just have a problem with how it almost, I'm not gonna say it's inaccessible, but because it's not literally inaccessible, but it feels like it's a struggle. Like it feels like I haven't had to work this hard to learn like a random skill like in a long, like, this is crazy. I think it's also because, like I said, I haven't done anything like this before. Like everything I remember like teaching my parents how to do like little stuff. Like I remember coming home from college and teaching my dad, like, you can just like stream and torrent movies now, right? Like, and he's like, what? And I felt like a tech genius because I was like, how did he not know this? Like, it's so simple.
I feel like I knew that this would be my future, like as a kid, because I remember being like, PowerPoint, got that shit. I know what that is. And the second we had to learn Excel, all those charts, I was like, and I'm out. Like, I don't know what. It's too many boxes, too many buttons.
I've had, I think, at least 2 or 3 different attempts at learning Excel.
If I can't master that, and there's like old people
who
get
like,
it,
yeah,
taking Excel
they
courses.
teach you like at the community center, and it's just like, but
maybe that was like a foreshadowing for how my life would turn out, which is, by the time I'm 23, I don't know how to turn on a computer
or how to upload anything, or how to remember. So another random, I guess a random struggle was when we were trying to upload this to YouTube. Remember when we were like, there was a point where we thought that we were going to have to, we thought that not only for YouTube, but for like Spotify and iTunes, we thought we were going to have to buy one of those hosting websites.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how big a file, how much memory we're allowed, right? And we were like, okay, so how do we, like, the file is this big now. How do we compress it to make it fit? And now it's just an entire thing. And then we tried just like, you know what? Let's just save it and upload it and see what happens. And it automatically compressed. And we're just
we're like, oh, I guess I had to save it.
But
which now in hindsight sounds like such a stupid thing, because it's like if your mom was trying to send like a Microsoft Word document, and she's like, I don't know how to attach it to an email, and it's like, well, first you got to make it a file. You got to save it onto your computer.
Yes.
That was us. We were like,
so
we have this recording. How do we upload it? Well, try saving it, bitch. You dumb bitch. Like,
right. So we saved it, and they were like, what kind of file should we save it at? And then we are like, well, it's audio, maybe MP3. Like that would make the most sense, right?
The stupidest people are just like hitting keyboards trying to figure out.
Nope. Absolutely. And then there was a point where once it was an MP3 file, it was like, cool, but YouTube doesn't allow strictly MP3 files. So, and that was the actual like struggle. That's where it was like, okay, so we got to really figure out how we're gonna change this file into something we can use for YouTube without actually having any video yet. Because
We don't have a video.
nope, we don't have a
set
video.
up.
We would love to one day. We'd love to show everybody our lovely faces, but ain't got a good camera yet. That's just not. It's in one day, maybe one day.
I wonder what that would look like, because you know how the computer has like a built-in one.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Really, really shitty.
oh, it'd be something. I feel like we'll just have to adjust the way we do this, because right now we do this all like loosey goosey, just laying back in the chairs, and
yeah.
like sometimes I'm on the bed, just like whatever. But I feel like if we actually had a fixed camera setup, we'd have to be very just like we'd have to fix our position, and we had to make sure we
Right.
look. And not just that. One thing I thought about whenever we do event, and this is off topic, I know, but when we eventually do get down to recording these, we might have to actually care about what we look like.
True.
We
I
gonna
gotta get
have
out of
to-
my pajamas.
Exactly. I do all of these in t-shirts and sweats, and sometimes a hat, just because I feel like
Yeah.
not brushing my hair that day. So, but that's not gonna be an option. I'm gonna have to like, or if I do that,
Or maybe people will be like, they're so authentic.
it's
Like,
that's what real people look like. Like they're not Hollywood.
Oh, that sucks.
Hollywood
I hate-
hasn't
that's
got
such
to 'em
what a
yet.
backhanded compliment. I like her because she looks like a real person.
It's like, right, and yeah. I mean, I don't know, but I look forward to that. But who knows? That's gonna be a whole nother like we barely. This is just an audio file, and we struggle putting an audio file together with like
a cover art.
a cover
picture.
art and uploading that. So I
Yeah.
mean, video we might be a long shot. We'll see. I mean, I still say we need to just let's get an unpaid college intern to do this, all the editing for us. Let's get it. Let's just do it. They can put it on their resume, you know. If we ever make it big, then it'll count as something like, oh, I worked for them. If we don't, you know,
Right.
they just wasted their time. But that's for them to decide. On that Campbell, I would do
It's
it.
funny. When did that become such a joke? Like, let's just hire college interns.
I have no idea, but it's one of the funniest. It's like I don't know why the idea of like I imagine just a college intern just doing random like
You know,
dumb stuff.
those companies. I don't anymore, but I used to get them in the mail a lot, where it was like, work for us and you can make like $20,000 in one summer.
I don't think I
And it
ever
was
got those.
specifically targeted for college students who needed like a little job during the
Hmm.
summer. But they're scams, obviously.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're
What, like pyramid schemes or?
blatant. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Or it'll be like door-to-door selling of like vacuums or
Oh,
life insurance or
Lord.
something.
I actually knew a friend who, and I used to think it was a pyramid scheme too, but she used to actually either she was at the top of that pyramid or
Oh, I know the friend. I know who you're talking about. I know
yeah,
exactly
she
who you're talking
actually she sold knives and stuff, and it worked out. So I'm
about.
like,
I didn't think you were gonna say it. That everyone knows who the friend is. If the friend's listening, they know who they are.
well, they know who they are, and I mean maybe a few. I don't know. I don't think
You have
so.
so many friends who sell knives.
I mean, you don't know, maybe. But
yeah, those things aren't. I feel like they're just not real jobs, right? Does that mean?
I don't know. I mean, I just don't. I'm not informed enough to know. Like, is this really a scheme or is this? It feels like sketchy. It feels like it's
Wouldn't
too good.
everyone be making all the money?
Right, it
in
feels
the
too
world?
well. You say that, but what if everybody's seeking the same thing as us? Like, nah, this ain't. And it's one of those just like low hanging fruits that people just pass up on. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think that's true.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't think that's very accurate. It's sad though. Like I remember once we had a girl come up to the house trying to sell us a vacuum, and it was late. It was like
Aw.
9 p.m. and she's
That
like,
sucks.
"Please, like, can I at least demonstrate? I guess
Oh yeah.
it's worth something to them or to
Mhm.
their bosses if they at least demonstrate how the product works."
I don't know.
And
I think
we made the mistake of letting her in. And she like spilled salt on the carpet and
Oh,
vacuumed it
Lord.
up, and she was like, "Look at how good it picked it up." And we weren't gonna buy anything at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
I always
You
feel
can
so
tell
bad in those situations, and I tell them up front now. I'm like, I
She's so
don't
young.
have money. I don't want to.
Uh.
Like, there's one time where I straight up told somebody, I don't want to waste your time, dude. But I'm not gonna buy
Yeah.
anything. And they were like, okay, well, thank you. And they packed up and left because
Maybe that just left like a bad taste in my mouth because she looked so sad, and then she had to call the person that she was working for to pick
Mhm.
her up
oh, that
'Cause-
sounds
because she's toting a
wow.
whole,
I understand what you mean. Yeah.
thing, like a whole setup.
And she was like, that really like
She
she didn't.
probably looked like 18,
Dang, that's
really out here trying to sell these
Yeah.
vacuums
Aw,
desperately. I
man.
don't know. It was sad. I'm like,
Did she hit you with the I'm trying to make money to like go to
Yeah,
college?
she did.
Oh, that's depressing.
she did.
That sucks.
And they were really expensive vacuums.
Yeah.
And we didn't need one, so why weren't we gonna buy one? It was just
I don't
So
know.
sad.
That's rough. I wouldn't know what to say. I mean, I can't imagine being in that situation, but maybe I don't know, but I guess it is kind of a real job.
Maybe that's
Somebody's
how people
making money.
see us,
What, like as salespeople at our jobs?
Salespeople.
Maybe
we got roped in by the dream of like, oh, if you
you're
sell
gonna
a
make
lot, you're
so
gonna make
much
a lot.
money. Yes, you're gonna make so much commission. It's gonna be way more than your old job. It's gonna be people just it sells itself. Like that's what I
right. And
like,
then you get there and it's like, oh, I mean, in reality, there's only like a handful of people who are living that dream, and the rest of us are just like, oh well,
fighting each other for these
literally at each other's throats.
Yes, exactly. It's like what is it, like the old school, like the arena is like an arena with like a gladiator arena. Yeah, it's like people legit like
only the strong survive.
Exactly, and our managers just ha ha ha, like watching
Look
the
at
weak
this
people.
Stupid bitch
Exactly.
trying to sell enough to make commission this pay period.
Yeah, well, no, it's not happening. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough. But yeah, this podcast has been a little more challenging than I thought putting up, for sure. But
yeah,
I feel like it's worth it. I feel like it's been worth
honestly
it.
been so fun. We talked about how for each of us, it's kind of opened up these desires to pursue more creative endeavors, I guess.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Like, and I mean, I might say this, and maybe this will be the last thing y'all ever hear from me ever again, but hopefully not. But I don't know. It's hard for me to like do this until its completion, whenever that is, and never do anything else again. Like, it's hard for me to picture, like, and not just from the terms of like investing in a mic, but like we talked about all the difficult things. We've learned like a good amount of skills doing this that we could apply to other things. Like we can start another podcast, which would be the easiest thing. We can like just start a different
5 different podcasts.
But we also could like do YouTube stuff, because we learned how to like upload videos the right way, and like we'll probably eventually at some point get good at editing and stuff. We've learned a little bit of like, or we're gonna learn at some point, like kind of social media managing and how to like actually gain a following. So I don't know. I feel like it's useful skills here for like, I guess you would call it online entrepreneuring, if that's, I don't know. I mean, that's taking it too serious. You're right. But
I went to an intermediate school that low key was like, it hyped up entrepreneurship.
Really?
Yeah. I think Daniel went to the same one.
I know what school you're talking about. Yeah,
it was new.
Right, I know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about. It was like only a few years old.
I know what you're talking about.
But there was a class where like you made soap and then you sold it.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. I wasn't in it.
Oh well.
My friend was like, "We should take choir," so I did. And now I'm gonna blame.
That is absolutely the most 5th grade thing I've ever heard. Yeah. That's like, we should take choir. Okay, like yeah. I'm pretty sure it's
fuck that class trying to teach me about how to build a business.
I'm pretty sure it's a reason similar to that I ended up in band in like the 6th grade.
I wanted to be in band so bad
because all my friends were doing it. I was like, I want to be in band, and but maybe instead of that, I should have took that class you were talking about, or like
you have to pay for your instrument, right?
Oh yeah.
I think my parents were like, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you don't have to pay anything to be in choir.
That's true. I guess so. Yep. It'll make you pay for your own mics.
We don't sing in the microphones. That's why there's like 80 people in choir. So together, like as a group.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I never went to any choir concerts.
Wow,
I didn't. I
don't think I went to anything band related, because you only play at like football games, right?
That's in high school. And like middle school, we did like random like Christmas concerts and stuff.
Oh, I
and
didn't
like
go to that either.
I figured. I mean, I wouldn't have went if I wasn't in it. So I get it.
That's funny. I used to do a lot of extracurricular activities when I was really young.
Yeah.
I did ballet for a really long time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, it is cool. Were you only a band kid? I don't
know. No, I did. So I did football when I was.
Oh, you did football. That's right.
Yeah, that was kind of my whole thing from like the moment you
it was your thing? You were a football player?
I mean, it wasn't the only thing, but I literally did football from like middle school all through high school. So I thought you would remember that, but maybe not.
Yeah, I would have remembered eventually. It's just, I don't know. It's not the first thing I think of.
Yeah, I get you.
When I think of.
But younger than that, I actually did little league football, like every little kid, whatever, right? I did Little League
Little
football.
League football.
I know, so exciting. They have they have like little playoffs and Super Bowls and stuff too. Like it's a whole thing, and parents take it super serious. Like
That's weird.
it's a thing, and there are some like really good teams that you like pay to be like AAU, like
That
you
sounds
legit
like
pay to be on it.
you know, beauty pageants. That's weird. Toddlers and Tiaras. Did you ever watch that show? Where their parents get a little too invested.
It's
like,
strange, but I mean, hey, I can't tell anybody how to raise a kid or whatever. And if you just,
I mean, you can.
You can tell someone how to raise a kid.
Yeah, like at one point you can be like, you can't hit him. You can't. You got to put him in school. You gotta.
Oh, I guess technically
we have
that.
Rules
Yeah,
for
we have rules
raising
for
your
yeah.
child.
Yeah.
At least in our country.
Yeah, no, to
so
some
it's a
degree
little weird
you
that
can.
it's like, oh, you can give that kid like a spray tan and put acrylic nails on her. That's fine. We'll let you do that.
I mean, one thing about it is a lot of times the girls didn't look like they were having fun, but some of them look like they were having fun.
I guess so.
So you know, like I have fun for a little bit in Little League football, and then I was like, I don't want to do it no more. And my parents didn't.
Yeah.
My dad, I remember my dad.
What if
was
they had been like, you don't have a choice?
My dad was upset, but
Oh.
you know, they just like let it. They were just like, oh, whatever, all right, fine. And then I did karate sometime.
You did karate?
Legit, well, yeah, karate, taekwondo.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was basically I'm black belt now.
No, yeah, basically, you didn't know I'm a killing machine, like for sure.
Jackie Chan who?
No, but I went from about 5th grade on to like 8th grade or 7th grade. Yeah, I think I stopped in 7th grade. So I started in 4th or 5th, and I did it for like 3 years or something, somewhere
so
in there.
Funny.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was pretty. It was actually really funny.
Rush Hour.
Mm-hmm.
You could play both.
I could do Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. Yep. I'm absolutely as funny as Chris Tucker and as talented as Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's me.
Wow.
Hire me. Like somebody put me in their movie already. Like this is me. This is my audition tape right here.
Stunt doubles.
This is my audition tape right here that y'all playing. Like somebody need to listen to this and hit me up and get me in their movie right now. But anyways, that was pretty fun. I think the reason I did that one was so surprising. It was free. They literally were offering it free at like the community center at like the park down the street from our house. And my parents like, it's free. We're gonna put them, because my parents were always a believer in like put them in some, like your kids have to be doing something. Yeah. They're a believer in like you sit around the house or you go to school and you come home and you get into trouble, or at the worst case scenario you just on our nerves. So they always had me in something. I did that for a while till I got to middle school, and then it was just all about like football and band, and then same thing in high school minus the band. It was just football. And then for some reason I got to college and I didn't do anything. I just
all motivation.
I just yep. I went to college. I went to class sometimes and I drank, and that was about it.
I did ballet, and then I did theater.
Mm-hmm.
I was really into theater, and then my 9th grade theater teacher killed anything that I ever
remember.
liked about
I was also in that class.
Bitch.
It was not
what
nice.
A bitch! If you're a teacher and you get off, which is what it seemed like, you get off on putting students down, like you're in the wrong profession, honey.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, not everybody who is a teacher should be a teacher.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
I feel like she maybe had really, really high hopes for her life, and it just didn't pan out that way. So she felt the need to put down every kid ever who wanted to be a theater kid.
I mean,
which sucks because it was such a nice community.
Yeah, for sure.
When I got into it, which is in like middle school, and then I got to high school, and it was like, oh, she's actually the worst.
I mean, one of the weird things about theater in high school was that like it was so many kids in it whose hearts weren't, like I ended up in theater, and it was like, why? But it was just because we needed some kind of like artsy whatever class thing. Like, that they
being
required.
In the class is one thing, but being, because there was a club.
Yeah, their theater club. Yeah, and she was over the club too, and that's what like put you.
And I was like, I'm not gonna be in that.
Yeah, because I remember the class being terrible.
Garbage, yeah.
I remember the class being like awful.
So that sucks. I wish I would have. I don't know.
But
looked past her, I guess. But you really can't. No,
it's hard. Like especially as a young kid, like your teacher, whatever subject you're trying to take as a kid, whatever class, it's just a reflection of your teacher. You know, like we didn't even know what we were really into back then. We were just like, oh, this, like I thought.
Did you ever take home ec?
Yes, actually,
I did. God, that was like one of my favorite
It was funny.
classes.
I sold a pillow for my mom. It was nice.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like it was.
I mostly baked. I remember I made like an apple pie.
Yeah.
I learned how to sift flour.
I remember our class was bad, so we only got to bake one time. And
what? I only baked.
We did a lot of sewing. But she was like, it was some weird. You know how teachers are. It was weird. Like, oh, like y'all are too loud, so I can't trust you work at oven. Like some
Yeah.
weird, like I don't
Some
know,
weird
some weird like logic. I don't know, teacher logic. But it's just like I think she just didn't want to bother with us, so we
Yeah.
just did
Because
a
we
lot
would,
of the
I mean, the
lame
classes were
tests.
only, what, like 45, 50 minutes long?
Yeah.
So it's not enough time to properly bake something.
No.
So I know that she would sometimes be like, okay, well, leave them in the oven, clean up your stations, and then I'll take care of them.
Oh, that's
Next
so
class would
nice.
show up and it'd be done. So I guess we just had a really nice teacher who was
Did
comfortable
y'all?
with
So
doing.
did y'all like not eat them? No, you just left them
Yeah.
for next class.
They'd be there for the next class. Like,
Oh, okay,
No,
that's
like
cool.
the next day when our class
Oh,
would be there.
I picture
Yeah.
like the class coming in behind you, like, all right, y'all, cookies are ready. Like,
No. It
I
was
got you.
good. When we made the apple pie, she like gave us ice cream to eat with it. It was so good.
oh, that's pretty lit.
Yeah.
No, my home ec class wasn't so fortunate, but I took that. I also took a random like which I mean kind of goes with my profession, but it was very weird. It was like a children's study class, like kind of like a I don't remember the name of it, but it was basically studying like not the psychology.
Why were there so
but
many like movies and TV shows where people will be given like a baby to take care of?
you know,
Did you ever do that?
no,
I never
I
did
didn't.
that.
Did anybody at our school do that?
No.
Like no, yeah, that wasn't a thing. I don't know why that's like a maybe it's
What
just a
a
movie
trope.
Yeah, that's just a
Yeah.
movie trope at this point. Because I took like I said, they didn't do that in home ec, which you thought. I also
You
took
think.
some like child counselor class or something like in like
They didn't do that
11th.
either.
No, there was nothing like nothing like that. Which I mean, I'm kind of glad because I would have chucked the baby. I'm not gonna lie. It would have been so bad because I would have had to like find a babysitter while I was in like football practice for 2 hours after school every day.
Your
it's like,
mom is taking care of a kid on your
it's
behalf.
just like, oh, this is stupid. Nope. So I'm pretty glad that we didn't do that. I've also heard equivalents of that is like trying to take care of an egg, and it's like,
Or a sack of flour.
yeah, and it's like that's not gonna work
Yeah.
out at all.
I can see that egg being a disaster.
Oh, absolutely.
Egg stinks. Like, what if it breaks?
Eggs stink
and then-
exactly. It's like no,
No.
that's dumb.
Where do you carry it? In your hand?
You just hey y'all, this is Timmy.
This is my baby. That's weird.
Exactly. And do you bring the baby like to parties with you, and do you just like what do you do?
Well, I think the flour and the egg would have been easy to cheat at.
Oh,
You could
absolutely.
Be like,
yeah,
oh, I
you can't-
100% did
I
the.
took care of it. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
changed its
still
diaper.
here. Is it dead? No.
Yeah, is it dead though?
No, it's still here. It's clothed. I put.
Yeah, can't you just replace it?
Man, we should have had that assignment. It would have been easy A, perfect.
Just
easy
buy
A.
a dozen eggs and like.
Well, one of these gonna make it through the week. Like, one of these are gonna make it through the week.
Let's say I eat one every morning. One of them will be there by the time the week is up.
Mm-hmm.
And all those skills have led us to not knowing how to do anything with computers.
Nothing at all. This is gonna be a continuous struggle,
Yeah.
but worth it though. Cause I mean, the one
all those
easy
years of ballet.
karate absolutely did not teach me how to properly
Fuck is an
edit a
RSS
podcast.
feed?
Exactly. But the one I don't know. I mean, the one thing that's been rewarding about it is recording. Like I'm having a good time right now, and like recording is the easy part, and it's the fun part.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the things that really I just look forward throughout the week. It's like whatever type of day I'm having, it's like whatever. At least at the end of the week, I can go, I can record, let off some steam sometimes, or just tell whatever like interesting stories, whatever.
I'd
it is.
encourage most people to have some sort of creative outlet because
if you get the
it's-
chance. Yeah,
it's a
if you have the
productive
time.
thing to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure. Worst case scenario, it is a productive thing to look forward to. You learn a lot of like we said, random skills that you just wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
Yeah.
Unless these are all common knowledge and we just legit don't know anything. That's just us. But
Yeah. So we to wrap things up, we wanted just to run a few things past all of our listeners
yeah, for sure. Anybody that's listening to this,
that's made it this far.
yeah,
We are on a schedule. We will be posting on Mondays.
yeah.
So
So
designated upload date. So if you're hearing this on a Monday, well, I guess you could be hearing it on a Monday.
you could be hearing it on a Monday or any day
Where was
ever.
I going with
But
that?
basically, if you're
They'll be up on Mondays.
yeah, if you're trying to look forward to this though, at any point, then look forward to Monday. You can look forward to hearing it on Mondays. Not necessarily a specific time, just whenever we get around to uploading it on Mondays. But you consistent. You want to follow us, see what we do. Definitely Mondays. Look out for it. For right now, just YouTube and SoundCloud at
These
These
Don't
Don't
Get
Get Degrees.
And
Right.
you can feel free to follow us on Twitter and Insta as well at DS Degrees.
Yes.
If you want to ask us any questions, if you'd like us to talk about anything, those would be the two places to let us know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, that never even occurred to me. But yeah, if you do follow us and you want to like, hey, can y'all bring this up? DM us on Instagram or Twitter. Like, that'd be great. We would love it, actually.
Yeah.
All right. So
that's it for this week.
Yep. I think we're done. This has been Dominic.
This has been Jessica.
And this has been the D's Don't Get Degrees podcast. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.